Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Adobia, and if you're a returning subscriber, I know you haven't seen me for 100 years, but welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, I've missed you. I know I have been gone for a very long time. I haven't posted a video for almost 3 months, which is not good in YouTube land, but I have been preoccupied, shall I say, with a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life, and I've been really busy doing some other things. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is not the type of video that I usually film. I wanted to come and speak to you guys today about something that's very personal to me and something that I have been going through in my life, so I decided to come and sit down and have a chat to you guys about it. And I really hope that you are open to hearing my story and, you know, getting to know me a little bit more. If you're interested, keep on watching. And unfortunately there's not going to be that much fashion in this video today. It's just going to be me talking. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with this video. Okay, so obviously, as you can see from the title of the video, I am here today to talk to you guys about something very serious and something that's affected me personally. I mean, I kind of have gone back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to have a sit down and talk about my battle. Yeah, my battle and my journey with breast cancer. I guess I should really pretty much just start from the beginning. It's just been something that's, I'm only now sort of, well, not now, but I'm only sort of, you know, I'd say now just getting to a point where I'm more comfortable talking about it. Anyway, so I am a woman who has battled and is still battling with breast cancer, stage 4 to be exact. And it's something that I have been terrified of at times and found so difficult to talk about that I'm actually amazed myself that I can sit here in front of a camera and talk to you guys and sit here in front of a camera and talk to you guys about something that's just so personal and that's been just so difficult for me. So I'll just start from the beginning because I feel like I'm rambling. So basically in September of 2016, I was doing my usual stuff, kind of running about, being a busy mum, going to work, working on starting a new business, and I discovered a grape-sized lump in my left breast. I didn't really pay too much attention to it because at that time I had been kind of working on like getting fitter and doing exercise, so I was doing a lot of swimming at that time, and I just thought that perhaps it was because I had been doing a lot of swimming and a lot of breaststrokes and backstrokes that I had developed a new sort of type of muscle within my breast. Obviously, me being a sort of I'm a bit of a worry wart sometimes, and I noticed the lump, but I was just kind of, you know, getting on with my day-to-day usual things. But I did go to the GP to get it checked out because it was something that was playing on my mind. So yeah, I did go to my GP, and I told my GP at the time that I found it was like a grape size, like the size of like a grape. So it wasn't something that was very prominent. Anyway, I told my GP that I found a grape-sized lump in my breast and I was a bit concerned about it, and could he get the nurse to examine me just so I can be sure it's not anything sinister. So I had an examination by the nurse and I was told that I don't need to worry about it. I'm young, so at the time in 2016 I was, let's do some maths. So at the time I was 29 years old. So my GP said to me, oh, there's nothing to be worried about. It just feels like normal breast lumps, so don't worry about it. It's fine. So obviously my GP has said to me that there's nothing to worry about. So I'm continuing my life, being busy, being stressed out, running up here, running up and down, probably not getting as much rest as I need, and just continuing with my life. And I continued on like that for the rest of 2016 up until the end of 2017, when I realized that the lump that was initially the size of a grape was growing, and it felt like I had a small tangerine in my breast, and I'd noticed that my breast had become slightly discolored, but not anything that would raise concern, because I had been on holiday and I had, I'd wearing a bikini, so I kind of got a bit of a tan, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And to me, because I deal with hyperpigmentation, I didn't think that it was anything to be serious, like to be stressed about, even though I was concerned, because I was thinking, hold on a minute, this lump was a grape size and now it's getting bigger. This is something that's not too good. I went to the GP again and I basically just said, look, this lump that I had come and expressed my concern about last year is gotten bigger and I'm a bit concerned now. I had another exam and the GP told me that it felt like a fibroid kind of a lump, or a swollen breast milk duct. So there's nothing to be worried about. They don't think there's any cause of concern. Didn't mention anything to me about the discoloration. I continued again with my everyday day-to-day life, and during the end of 2017 it was a really stressful period for me. Like, I was extremely stressed. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was transitioning over from a company that I was working with. I was working with a different company, and then there were some other things that were happening. I wanted to start my own business. There was a lot of things going on and I was really stressed out. Anyway, fast forward to April 2018, a Monday morning. I'm going to work as normal. I've just dropped my son off at Breakfast Club. I'm now going to the office, and as I'm walking I have this tight pinching pain in my chest. I automatically thought, what is that? Like, it was a pain that I've never had before. I've never had such a tight restricting pain in my chest that kind of like permeates across my chest all the way to my back. That's how I could explain it. It felt like someone had put a string through the middle part of my chest and was pulling that string from my back, and it was like pulling on my rib cage. It was just such an uncomfortable, weird sensation. I was like, okay, this is weird, but I still have to get to the office. So that day, that Monday, I still went to work, and I was sitting at my desk. Okay, I've got some ibuprofen and I've got some paracetamol in my drawer in my desk at work. So I was like, I'll take that as soon as I get in, and I'm not gonna drink any coffee today, because maybe, my body's responding to all the coffee that I've been drinking of late. So I took the painkillers and I was still in a lot of pain. I was finding it, then I was starting to find it hard to breathe. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is happening? Maybe am I having a heart attack and I'm just ignoring it. So I told my colleague, I was like, look, I don't feel good and I'm in a lot of pain. And this pain, I've never had this pain before. So my colleague said to me, look, Adobia, let's go to, there's a pharmacy down the road. Let's go to the pharmacy and let's see if they've got something for you. You can explain to them what's going on. I went to the pharmacy, and while I was in there, I was like, I'm going to faint. The pain was so excruciating that I literally couldn't stand up, and I was like, I was gonna collapse. I was like, I'm gonna faint, and I had a full-on like anxiety attack as well as being in that pain. Luckily enough for me, the staff at the pharmacy was so lovely. They gave me a seat at the back and they said, we're gonna call an ambulance for you. So they called an ambulance, went to A&E. I was explaining all my symptoms to the paramedics, who were absolutely amazing. And they basically did an ECG and told me that my heart was fine. But because of the fact that I'm complaining of chest pain, I need to go into A&E and get checked over by the doctors there. So I agreed. So we went to the hospital, and I was explaining to the consultant my pain and, you know, what was going on. And the consultant said, it sounds like I've got musculoskeletal pain. Only thing they can do for that would be to give me some cocodamol and just go home and rest. I went home that evening, took the cocodamol, was still in excruciating pain. I've got a very high threshold for pain, to be fair. I'm kind of the person that if I'm in pain or I've got a joint pain or something's hurting me, I just kind of just keep pushing through and just keep going. Like, I don't complain about pain a lot. So I took the cocodamol and the pain was still there. It was excruciating. I was taking cocodamol on the hour, every 4 hours on the hour I was taking the cocodamol. And if those of you who have taken cocodamol know that it is a very strong drug, and it can make you quite drowsy and a bit woozy. So I felt like I wasn't functioning properly. I was just kind of in a daze for 2 days. So this was Monday. So by Wednesday, I was just in absolute excruciating pain. I couldn't even go to the office. I stayed at home on that Wednesday, and luckily enough for me, a friend of mine that doesn't live too far from me at the time was able to take my son to school and then pick him up for me. I was like, I just can't like walk. I'm in so much pain and like I'm in agony. The Thursday morning, it was completely unbearable. I mean, every single breath that I took put me in absolute agony. It was like I was breathing through, I don't know, it's like I was breathing glass. Like, I was just in so much pain. So I ended up calling an ambulance myself, and after I had made arrangements for my son, imagine, I'm in absolute agony, but I'm like, I have to make arrangements for my kid first. So after making arrangements for my son, I then called the ambulance and went back into hospital. I insisted then, when I went back into A&E, I need some sort of scan, whether it's an MRI scan or an X-ray or something. I need a scan of my body because something is not right. I have Googled musculoskeletal pain, and it's supposed to get better with time. And this pain is getting worse with time, and it's rapidly getting worse. So this is not a musculoskeletal pain. I really kind of kicked up a fuss the next time I went into A&E, and luckily the consultant on duty then was like, okay, you need to go and have a CT scan. Let's make sure you don't have any blood clots or clotting in your lungs. I was like, oh my gosh, blood clots, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. So I went for a CT scan and waited for the results. I went for the CT scan on Thursday. On the Friday morning, I got a call to go into the hospital. They asked me to sit there and wait because I need to speak to somebody. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got blood clots. Oh, what am I going to do? I was like, I can't have blood clots. I've got things to do. How can I have blood clots? So in my mind, I was like, okay, I've got blood clots and they're going to probably put me on some kind of blood thinner. I didn't know, but in my mind, I was thinking it's blood clots. I went in to speak to the consultant, and he said to me, look, Adobia, we've had a look at your CT scan, and I need to tell you that there is a huge 7-centimeter mass in your breast, and we can also see small nodules under your armpit, and we need to refer you immediately to the breast clinic. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, that mass that I've been saying in my breast. Bearing in mind, cancer had not popped into my head whatsoever. Cancer was not even a thought in my mind. He said, I said, okay, finally they're going to get to the bottom of this thing. I said, oh, is this the thing that's been causing me this lump in my breast? Is this what's been causing all the pain? I was like, oh, maybe it is some kind of a fibroid or something. Oh, thank God they're going to be looking at that. And I will never forget the look on the consultant's face when he told me the news. When he told me that sorry, I'm just getting a bit emotional, I apologize. When he told me that we have found a huge mass in your breast and it's in your armpit, I remember the look on his face. And when I think about it now, it's like he knew what it was. Obviously he couldn't tell me because, you know, there's a procedure, but he knew. And he was looking at someone, and he was looking at me knowing what I was about to go through. And I will never forget the look on his face, ever. Fast forward to my appointment at the breast clinic. Amazing breast nurses, breast cancer nurses, breast nurses. I just want to say that the nurses that did my scans and helped me with my biopsy and everything like that were absolutely amazing. Before I had my appointment, they told me that, have I got family that can come with me? I said, yeah, sure. Like, well, no. I said, I have got family, but at the time, my sister was pregnant with my niece and my mum was away. And I had my best friend, Natalie. Hey, Nat, love you, girl. I had my best friend, Natalie, come with me to the appointment. And that was when they said that they need to do a biopsy of the lump in my breast to find out whether or not it's cancer. That was the first time that the word cancer had come up. Throughout this whole time, that was the first time that I'd heard the word cancer. As in, not in my life, but just heard the word throughout this whole ordeal. Was the first time that I heard the word cancer. So in my mind, I was like, I haven't got cancer. That's an old people's disease. I don't have cancer. That was my mindset. So I went in, they told me what was going to happen with the biopsy. They said I needed a biopsy for them, a core biopsy, which is basically when they they use like a kind of gun thing with needles that takes a part of the tissue out of the breast, and then so they can take it to the lab and you know, run tests on that part of the tissue. So they said I need to have a biopsy done. I was like, okay, cool. You know, they numbed up the area, did the biopsy about 6 or 7 times. They kind of punched into my breast and, you know, were taking samples. And then they said I needed to have a mammogram and an ultrasound. Now the mammogram is something that you have when you reach a certain age. I think it's 50, I don't know if it's 45, 50 years old that they call you in to come and have a mammogram. But because I was young, well, I am still young, but because at the time I was young, they said that I needed to also have an ultrasound because the tissue in my breast might be still quite, I think, is it more dense? I'm still learning all the sort of terminology and all the sort of, you know, all that stuff. Like I said, in my mind at the time, even though the word cancer had been mentioned, I wasn't thinking I had cancer. I remember also going in to speak to the oncologist that day as well. And when I went in after I had my biopsy, my mammogram, my ultrasound, I remember she also said to me, she said, do you have family? Do you have family that are close? I said, yeah, you know, my mum, but my mum's not here at the moment, but I do have family, and like my sister, but she's pregnant, and then obviously like my friend Natalie. But I was wondering why she asked me those kind of questions. And she goes, okay, well, you know, we have our suspicions. Because I asked her, I said, what's going on? Like, what's happening? She's like, we have our suspicions, but we can't confirm or deny anything until we get the results back from the lab. I said, okay, fine. So this was, I want to say the 27th or 28th of April. and they told me to come back. I will never ever forget this date, ever. They told me to come back on Tuesday, the 8th of May at 11 o'clock. I will never forget it, ever. They said, can you please make sure that when you come with like your family. So either come with your mom, come with your dad, or uncle, someone from your family. I was like, I can't come with a friend. Because she said, no, make sure you come with someone from your family. So I remember calling my mom and said, okay, you're gonna be back. Are you gonna be back in the country by the time I have an appointment? She said, yeah, I'll be back. I was like, okay, because they told me I need to bring my mom. I was thinking, what the hell do I need to bring my mom for? So I had told my mom what was going on. She had flew back into the country, and she escorted me to that appointment on the 8th of May 2018. I will never ever forget that day. I will never ever forget that day. I remember sitting in the waiting room with my mum, and I was telling her, look, Mum, I mean, they're throwing this cancer word around, but I don't think it's cancer. I don't feel ill. I don't feel sick. I'm just in pain. And Mum was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I don't think it's cancer. I don't think so. I think they're going to tell me I've got like a fibroid or something, and I'm going to have surgery. Because, oh, well, if you think that's what it is, then okay. But then slowly in my mind, it was dawning on me just how serious and my situation was. But I was in denial. And then I walked into that room and sat down. My mum sat next to me. And the oncologist, this time it was a man. The first oncologist I spoke to was a lady, but the oncologist that delivered the news to me was a man. And he said, we've got the results back of your biopsy, and I'm sorry to tell me that you've got breast cancer. And it was the worst day of my life. It was the worst day of my life. And I just freaked out. I don't even remember what. I thank God that my mom was there. I thank God that she was there, because I wasn't present. I left my body. I had left the room. So I didn't. The only thing I was thinking was, I can't have cancer. Who's gonna look after my son? Who's gonna look after my son? That's all I could think about. That's all I could think about. Who's gonna look after my son? Because I'm gonna die. Who's gonna look after my son? And I kept telling about. I remember I was telling the nurse, I said, I've got a child, I can't have cancer. And just thank God my mum was there. Hold on. I'm back. Sorry, it's just, even after all this time, it's still really difficult to like relive that day. I try really hard to be like positive and like smile and laugh and stuff. I really do try, but when I think about that day, it's really difficult, as you can imagine. The good news was that my cancer was treatable. It wasn't curable, but it was treatable. there was an option, there's lots of options of drugs for me to take that can help control the cancer and keep it stable. So that was the sort of silver lining of the terrible news that I received that day. But yeah, I started treatment pretty much straight away. Within like 2 weeks, I had my appointment with my oncologist, who I still have now, who looks after me. She's absolutely amazing. And I had a treatment plan, and I was signing all the paperwork to agree to start IV chemo. So yeah, I started chemo treatment, and yeah, I started chemo treatment. Chemotherapy is no joke. I think that has probably been the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my entire life. Hi. So I just had my second round of chemo using my PICC line, which is ventured up there, and it was okay. I was really anxious and nervous about it because of the PICC line and stuff, so I was like, I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting it to be awful because I was paranoid about the PICC line and where it was, but you know, it's okay. I don't feel sick or anything yet. I'm just tired, so I'm just lying down having a rest. My neck still hurts a bit, so I've got this on. But yeah, other than that, just a quick update on my day and my second cycle of chemo. I'm sure the side effects will be kicking in a few days. Well, once I stop taking the steroid, the side effects will be kicking in. So yeah, just thought I'd give an update. Okay, so it's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and all the sickness has kicked in. The nausea, it's really quite bad. Don't really think I can lie down, to be honest. I feel really sick. I tried the sickness tablets, don't really help. Anyway, that's that. I had 4 rounds of IV chemo, and I'm now currently on a hormone drug which keeps my hormonal levels to at a place where the cancer cells won't thrive in that environment, which is my body. I just think people really underestimate what chemotherapy does to your body, what it does to your mental state. I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy, but unfortunately we live in a world where more and more people, especially women, are getting diagnosed with cancer younger and younger every year. There's so much more sort of like technical stuff. I don't know how comfortable I am yet to kind of share all of that, because it is my like personal medical sort of history. But I mean, if you are interested in knowing about, you know, the science behind the type of cancer I have and stuff, please let me know in the comments. I will be happy to sort of do a brief sort of run through of the type of cancer and different hormone receptors, etc., and the best way I can. I'll be happy to do a video about that if that's something that you are interested in seeing. So the main reason for me even coming forward, and not even coming forward, but opening up, the main reason for me opening up about my battle, my journey with breast cancer is because it's so important. Women, I'm speaking to you right now because I can only talk from a woman's perspective. Check your breasts. Even if something feels weird and you think it's not a big deal, go and get it checked out and go and get a second opinion. It may be nothing, but it may be something. And it's so important. Like I said, we you know, we've been able to see, you know, celebrities as well who have had breast cancer, and, you know, unfortunately they have lost their battle. I've lost, you know, I lost someone very close to me who we were battling this disease together, and I lost her late last year. So cancer does not discriminate. It doesn't discriminate if you're black, white, Asian. It does not discriminate your age, your weight, your height. You might be, look, I've met people within my cancer journey. Now we're going to talk about the positive stuff. I've met people within my cancer journey who are like health nuts. They are vegans. They make sure that they're at the peak of their fitness and health, and they've still developed cancer. So cancer does not discriminate. One thing I will say that I want to turn this kind of sad, gloomy video and Adobe crying, which is not the norm. You usually see me smiling and having a good time. Is that there are some amazing charities out there, organizations that offer support to people who have cancer, families. There are so many, and the ones that I'm holding dear to myself, who have really helped me through this journey. I'm gonna name a few. So first, Black Women Rising, absolutely an amazing charity. They are, I don't know what I would have done without them. Their support groups and their support networks are absolutely amazing. I think when people think about cancer or breast cancer, you won't really see a face like mine. My face wouldn't pop up if you thought about breast cancer or cancer in general. But people who look like me are living with cancer, have cancer, and die from cancer. Like I said before, cancer does not discriminate. And being able to speak to other women who look like me and have gone through the same similar things as me is just, it's absolutely amazing. And it's something that I didn't realize I needed when I was going through, and still now while I'm still going through trials and tribulations and struggles within my cancer journey. So I just want to shout out Black Women Rising. I also want to shout out Breast Cancer Now, and another amazing charity. There are some amazing people that work with that charity, and they are so warm, and they want to get real people who have cancer, they want to get their stories out there, and they want to make sure that our voices are heard. And that's one thing I really appreciate about that charity. They are absolutely amazing, and you know, the ladies that I've met over there, so great, and you know, it warms my heart to think about them. So that's another charity that you guys should go and support, is Breast Cancer Now. Macmillan Cancer Support is absolutely amazing for like information about the type of cancer you have, the type of treatments you're entitled to. They are a plethora of information. And their cancer nurses are absolutely amazing as well. The cancer nurses in Breast Cancer Now are also brilliant. All the cancer nurses that work with these organizations, you are all amazing. You are truly all wonderful human beings, and you don't know how sometimes just being on the phone with someone who knows what they're talking about can really help you when you're having a bad day. Having the support of those charities, Black Women Rising, Breast Cancer Now, Macmillan, Cancer Research UK, all of those charities and organizations really do make a difference, guys. And if you can, donate, because your donations is what are making those charities, you know, do the brilliant work that they do. Another thing is that I was so lucky that I had an amazing support system. Like my friends, like my day ones were absolutely amazing. And I think going through, you know, my diagnosis, my treatment, it really did make me realize who my day ones were and who were my friends that really loved and cared about me. Some people, and unfortunately it's just the way the world is, but some people unfortunately just weren't there for me, and unfortunately those friendships, you know, dissolved. But one thing I will say is my day one friends, like people that I've known for like years, even people that I haven't known for years and years, but who were just there. I don't think they even know up to now how much their support meant to me during that time. My friends and my family especially as well. My family were absolutely amazing. My friends were absolutely amazing. The support that I received from those people was unmatched. Like I didn't know that there were so many people around me that loved me so much. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. Every single one of you. You all know who you are. I've thanked you in abundance since then. But you guys all know who you are. Like all my friends. You know, I'm just so grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for my family. Also, I've got some things in the pipeline. So this is going to be another video. But, you know, I did a campaign just recently with River Island and Fashion Targets Breast Cancer, along with Breast Cancer Now. That campaign is up now. That was an amazing campaign. I'm going to be talking about that a bit more, so yeah, be ready for that video, guys. And I hope that me being open and just being me and expressing and sharing with you my journey, if it's touched somebody, then I know I've done a good job. But don't worry, we will be back to regular scheduled programming. Is it regular scheduled programming or regularly scheduled programming? Regularly scheduled programming or regular scheduled. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Anyway, but we'll be back to our regular scheduled program or regularly scheduled programming, which I'm going to be doing some more hauls. I've got some stuff I've got in mind. I'm thinking about kind of revamping this channel a little bit and just doing some different stuff. We will be as well discussing about, you know, health and, you know, more. I'll be kind of linking some more stuff about my journey and about my cancer story. So I will be talking about that a little bit on here, a little bit more on here. And just thank you for taking your time today to watch this video. This was very difficult for me. Everyone anyone who knows me knows that I'm a bit of a, you know, I'm not a softie. I don't cry like that. I like to be upbeat and fun and have a good time, and you know, I like to have a good time. I'm a good time girl, you know, but I'm also a human being, and life affects me just like it affects everybody else. And I feel like being vulnerable and being open with you guys is something that, you know, will bring awareness. And that's one thing I really want to do. If anything, with this channel, with my social media, is to bring awareness to the fact that cancer can happen to anybody. And if something is not right, go and get checked. And if it's still not right, ask for a second opinion. You have to push to get the answers. You have to push. You have to. Because if I had pushed in the beginning and said I want a second opinion, a third opinion, perhaps someone would have noticed that what was going on in my body was not just a breast lump, it was actually cancer developing, and they could have caught it early. And I'll be telling a different story now. But hey, this is my life. I'm still gonna live it carefree, happy, positive, and, you know, in the best mindset I possibly can. I feel like that definitely does help. And having good people around you also is, you know, is also good. It's also good. It's good to have good people around you. And I just want to say to everyone who has reached out to me and who has told me that they're proud of me, I love you all, I really do. And your kind words just mean so much and really touch my heart. I've had some amazing experiences in life, and I will continue to have more of those. And cancer, unfortunately, is just a little part, well, not a little, it's just a part of who I am now. And I am every day starting to accept that, and accept that's going to be a part of my life. So hey, anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you know anyone that's had cancer before. If you know anyone, if you've had cancer before, if you've had cancer, if you still have it, if you've had it, if you know someone, let me know in the comments and let's have a conversation. And until the next time, remember, guys, you are beautiful no matter what size or shape, and don't let anybody tell you any different. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.